This is Cast of Wonders, the fiction podcast for young adults featuring stories of the fantastic. Welcome. Today, we present part 2 of Empty Pockets by James Isaac. If you missed part 1, it's episode 56. Please go back and listen to that first. We gave James thoughts on the story last episode, so check the show notes for episode 56 if you want to know more. And now, we've a tale to tell. Fresh, clean and ready for his first day of work, DJ made sure to wake way before 9 o'clock. No rain today, a good sign, he thinks, as he walks leisurely to the shop with no name. MCG is sitting on her stool, this time whistling as she paints purple polish on her nails. She nods to DJ as he crosses the street, shouting loudly because of the noise of the headphones, "Good morning!" As soon as he pushes past the bead curtain, Granny Guffin is there, throwing an orange apron at him. "Here is your apron of customer service," she says. Lacking kangaroo pouch, DJ considers it rated underling. "Don't you ever close?" he questions, as Mrs. McGuffin seems to be wearing the same gear as yesterday. "Don't be silly. Now, clever young man, off to work you go. I want you to put the contents of those boxes on the shelves," she says, pointing over to several large cardboard boxes between the aisles. "Do it any way and anyhow you want. And remember, in case of a customer, we are what we are in the eye of the beholder." "Yeah, right," he mutters under his breath as he prizes open the cardboard boxes. Just bags and bags of crisps. Plain white packets with the words "plainly flavoured," and that's all. Monotonously crisp merchandising for the next hour, DJ makes it bearable only with the thought of crispy £50 notes. Then everything changes. The back door jingles as it is pushed open. Inside walk two figures, a man in plated metal armour and a woman clothed in studded hooded leather, showing lots of thigh. DJ stops shelf stacking, entranced by the Amazonian vision before him. A nasty smell breaks the enchantment. Manure scents the air, the whinnying of horses outside. Dust and chaff now cover the floor. Oaken interior replaces generic corner shop decor. Racks replace shelves, and all those crisp packets have vanished, leaving in their stead some kind of medieval armoury and a variety of statues and jewellery. "Only one at a time or the shop will get angry, sir," says an old woman that should be Granny Guffin. Long crooked nose, bent of back and leaning on a long gnarled walking stick, dressed all in black too. The only thing lacking is a pointy hat. For a moment it seems as if the shop somehow contracts, but then the Amazon lady mumbles an apology and steps out the back door. A verifiable feeling of release pulses throughout the interior. The Guffin witch lady wobbles over to DJ saying, "Our customer is a knight, a regular nice young man like yourself. Your job is to serve him. You'll know what to do. It will come to you. Just remember, tell all customers that everything comes with a price, to be paid later. And only one item per person." DJ frantically nods his understanding, if only to try and wake from this strange dream. The steel-coated man booms, voice bold and hearty, "Hail, wise Mother Guffin! Yet again the kingdom needs the wonders of antiquity to rouse the people's spirit against evil. Pray tell me Excalibur is back?" "Still away, Sir Tristan. Ask my young squire to assist you, good sir." Before she hobbles away, she whispers in DJ's ear, "Ye olde antiquity section is there in the corner." DJ's apron hums with static electricity and his mind buzzes, filling with pictures and words. Imperiously the man gestures, "Imp boy, what do I require to ignite the fervours of my nation against the enemy?" imp boy? But DJ does indeed feel shorter. A reflection caught in a polished breastplate hanging on a nearby rack shows a thing he does not recognise. A bald, pointy-eared, conically chinned, devilishly eyed, impy creature stares back. So this is what Sir Tristan beholds. DJ thinks he should be scared, but somehow it all seems so appropriate. Imp boy, I'm talking to you. Assist me or I shall give you a damn good thrashing. And believe me, I'm good at thrashing. Again, energy crackles through DJ's mind, the blessings of cosmic salesmanship radiating from the apron. Well, we have a good selection from antiquity, my lord, and I have just the thing. Over there between the bones of Agamemnon and the cornucopia, you'll find a man-sized wooden statue, the Palladium of Troy. As long as you hold it, your nation will never fall. His armour clanking over the wooden floor, kicking up small clouds of chaff, Sir Tristan stops and ponders the antiquity. Well, I must say it is a bit chipped. But yes, this will do nicely. Same payment as always, yes? He takes a breath. A price to be paid of Mother Guffin's own choosing on an undetermined date, but less than half the success wrought by said artefact. Yes, sir. I see you are well versed in the ways of these things. Well done, imp, Sir Tristan says, before picking up the statue and bellowing, Wise Mother Guffin, see the imp boy gets a raise. As you like, good sir, she mumbles, dusting cobwebs from a mighty shield. Awkwardly trundling through the store, the knight barges the back door open. Standing on tiptoes in order to try and catch a glimpse of the Amazonian fantasy fuel outside, DJ ultimately fails to see past Tristan's bulky plate mail. Then the heavy door slams shut and the local supermarket, bedecked with crisp packets, returns. Back to her dreadlocked form, Granny Guffin states matter-of-factly, of course someone will steal the Palladium in the end, but then that's not our concern. Either way, I get the future prospects of a kingdom. And notice he had no pockets? That's why he had to heave it around. Anyway, good job, young man, and see, you're back looking like your handsome self. Firm, holed, gelled hair nests atop his head, ears nice and rounded with standard cubic zirconia, chin not so conical. What a relief! And so the day passed, shop conforming to the expectations of clients. Granny Guffin became anything from raven-haired gypsy fortune-teller to a voodoo lady, even something like a Miss Havisham, who DJ remembered from English class. Suffering through this odd-changing process too, DJ found himself dressed as a butler, serving a red-coated man smudged with black powder and smelling of smoke. While the red-coated customer patronised the store, the surroundings clicked and whirled with clockwork machinery. The redcoat requested a way to defeat a well-known diminutive French general. After DJ had assured him that Excalibur was indeed no longer available, he waded through a tumble of imperial silk next to a piping, whistling alchemical device which kept turning a lump of coal golden and black. Eventually he found what he wanted, something called the Turk, a tiny automaton of said Turk playing chess. Not what I was looking for, but it could just do the trick, knock the sheen off the all-conquering shine, what? Said the bemused redcoat. Something like the electrifying of a filament sparked in DJ's mind. Sir, this is pocket-sized but will increase to man-size once you leave the shop, and remember the price will be paid later. As the man left, the roar of cannon outside the back door caused DJ to wonder if a chess-playing machine was really such a good choice. Another time, dressed as a skateboarder come nerd of all nerds, he programmed a holy USB of hacking requested by a black-suited man in shades who spoke with a Russian accent. Later, he greatly impressed Granny Guffin after giving a high-profile banker looking for luck a vacuum-packed rabbit foot from MCG store, the first ever to be sold. DJ sets his thoughts on home and the £400 he'd earned when time ticked to the 8-hour mark of his working day. As the shop again starts to shimmer, he makes a mental note that this will indeed be his last customer of the day. The familiar crackle of knowledge fizzles through his mind, and this time his body feels stiffer. Fibre optics and wires wrap his thighs, forearms and chest. Cool, a future high-tech place. He's actually grown to look forward to the changes. After all, Drive-Through Dave couldn't say he'd travelled to a dozen dimensions during his 9 to 5. Instead of the usual old lady shape, Granny Guffin had morphed into a computer, black and streamlined without controls, only a flashing screen seamlessly blending into the now all-black decor. Glowing spheres sparkle, holographic screens blink. Instead of a jingly bell signalling entrance via back door, a thing began materialising beam me up style in the middle of the shop. Angular blades poke from the flesh of the thing. Wires twist with sinew, blue electric arcs. A bastard of man and machine. The face is a concave bowl of dark grey, featureless except for a single flashing red dot in the middle. Everything about it screams psycho killer. It holds a sword, archaic or medieval. "Ask the servitor for assistance," says the digitised voice of the Granny Guffin computer. The red dot swings DJ's way, projecting itself over his cyborg heart. "I want to exchange this Excalibur." Voice mechanical, not in a genius I am AI incarnate Stephen Hawking way, but resonating with a metallic screech like a train struggling to stop in time. "Found on some primitive rebel world. It's no good to me. I need something to spread awe and terror on that rebellious planet. And no rings of seeping insidiousness." The sword's hilt is off to DJ as the thing holds the bladed end. "G-Day, please hang Excalibur up and put it in a pocket, a scabbard," Granny beeps when DJ takes the sword. "Overlord, that is quite a problem. Servitor, do you have any advice?" Strange. The first time today that Granny has asked rather than ordered. Is she nervous? The sword is heavy in DJ's grip. He doesn't understand why everyone seems to have wanted it. Doesn't seem any better than the many other weird weapons and things he's seen today. "Overlord," he ventures, "I know what would please you. You want a weapon the size of a small moon, right? Something like a star that spreads death." The blinking red light swings back over to the Granny computer. "What is wrong with your servitor?" it rasps. "I should format its mind and blast it into the vacuum of the void. How am I supposed to carry a small moon?" Tightening his one-hand grip on Excalibur, the blessing of the apron of customer service fizzles in his brain once more. A glass marble with blue glowing centre levitates upon a counter next to many other marbles of many different colours. An instant later, the marble hovers between DJ and the Overlord. "Here, mighty Overlord, a nanoplague of devouring, immune to sneak attacks down trenches." Deep, doom-laden silence permeates every atom of the shop. Then, a blade-finned hand knotted with veins and wires reaches and unfolds under the marble, which drops and is caught. Without so much as a word, the Overlord phases away, and the supermarket returns. Granny Guffin stifles DJ's concerns as she loudly exclaims, "Home time, G-Day! You have been wonderful today, young man. Here you go, a little cherry on top." Her hand takes 9 crisp 50-pound notes from her pouch, which DJ greedily pockets with his free hand. "Hold your hand out, dear. I have something else for you." Next, she pulls a shiny watch from the pouch. Stylish, not too thick and blingy, but a little sparkle from what DJ presumes are diamonds. She straps it to the wrist of his outstretched arm. "Take this watch and wear it tomorrow. Now be off with you. Examining the watch, DJ feels odd. Does she think I'm a long-lost grandson or something? But still, a nice watch is a nice watch. Then he notices a dent, a split on the rim of encrusted diamond. He shrugs and wanders out. See you tomorrow, Mrs. MacGuffin. Outside the shop, MCG is leaning over the display table and popping gum. Baggy-fitting, rainbow-coloured skater shorts hint at a well-formed arse. DJ can't help but admire it and grips Excalibur even more tightly. Damn it, he still has the sword and his shop apron. The thought of going back inside is too much to bear. Who knows what could happen? Leaning the sword up against the wall by the beaded curtain and hanging his apron off the hilt, he assumes MCG will surely put everything back. She stares right through DJ as he passes and waves, undoubtedly lost in a land of sound. Frantically running down the street, DJ can't believe that he got up at midday. His mum had already left for work and didn't wake him. He had to iron his own shirt, and no sign of any buses. Even though the contract stated whenever, he's sure Mrs. MacGuffin would only let him off so much. As he runs across the street to MCG's stall, he gets an even greater surprise. MCG doesn't wear her headphones and she's jumping and waving at DJ to hurry. When he sets foot on her side of the road, she runs to him crying, "Please, DJ, help Granny. I don't know why she isn't fighting back." She hugs him tightly and DJ, the newly appointed fearless protector of damsels, hugs back. "Think pure thoughts, think pure thoughts." "It's fine, I'm here now," he says softly, although it's frightening to consider what Granny can't deal with by herself. By now he suspects she's all-powerful and the old Granny act is just a ruse. He lets go of MCG and with trepidation makes his way to the beaded curtain door, instinctively on tiptoes. Parting the curtains ever so slightly, he peeks inside. Circling the Granny computer is the Overlord. It strokes the huge barrel of some sort of laser cannon death ray. A half dozen of what DJ can only describe as muscled, squat, cyborg henchmen hammer bladed fists against counters and stock. Black smooth shards whiz across the shop floor from shattering blows. Clearly, the Overlord is not happy with his recent acquisition. "I can't even populate the damn planet with my own minions now. That nanoplague was too effective. I demand compensation," the Overlord roars, sounding like the screech of one steel edge grating against another. Granny beeps. "No refunds, Overlord. You knew the policy. Once you take it, the repercussions are your responsibility." "I'm going to smite this place and take everything." Its back facing the bead curtain, the Overlord presses the tip of the gun against the Granny computer. DJ knows that in this moment many things might occur, one of them being the destruction of his first workplace environment, resulting in joblessness and the witheringly sad eyes of MCG reduced to even witheringlier sadness. Whatever else might happen, that must be prevented. Something catches his eye as he pops his head away from the curtain. Excalibur glinting in the cold light of a sun which has just pierced grey cloud above. Thank God MCG left it outside. Once more he grabs the sword, feels its weight, its balance. He draws in a deep breath, holds, and charges. Beaded curtain strands flail behind him like the locks of a well-groomed warrior hero somewhere else. Bits of shop splinter around him in the fury of rampaging henchmen as, behind the Overlord, he draws the blade above his head. So heavy, his underworked arms already straining, DJ swings, and this moment of ripe possibility, if moments were eggs and Excalibur a spoon, breaks open. The Overlord's flashing, empty-faced head spins in the air, cleaved from its body. The torso twists into a heap of sparking circuits and drops as dead weight on the floor just before the head bounces alongside, red light no longer blinking. Hands aching from the impact, DJ drops the sword. Bravery ebbs away when the stunned henchmen turn to look. An instant later the walls of the shop clench, or bite like a giant mouth grinding Cyborg into pulp. chewing walls press against each other, except for where the granny computer beeps and DJ stands. Suddenly releasing, the back door opens into starry void, sucking the remains of Overlord and henchmen into the vacuum of space. The blandness of a 21st century local London supermarket shimmers back into existence around DJ. Granny Guffin wanders between the aisles as if nothing has happened. In the corner of his eye, MCG's face disappears behind the rattling beaded curtains. DJ's pissed off. "Why didn't you do anything earlier?" Anger heightens his voice. "Well, you are the help, dear." And then Granny Guffin winks at him. Not a come hither wink, but a secret nudge nudge, wink wink, wink. "I knew you'd arrive in the nick of time." To which DJ thumbs against his watch, feeling the dent in the encrusted rim, understanding something that he didn't a moment ago. And then noticing that Granny Guffin wears the same orange clothes as 2 days ago, he wonders why she isn't decked out in designer gear with diamonds and gold herself. Granny, I'm just curious, what do you get paid with?" "Well, everything. We're not a charity. People carelessly pay me in fragments of time and or space, fragments of hopes and or dreams." Granny starts to wander again. DJ is quick to follow. I have an idea to make your shop look better. That empty awning outside, I could design a logo for you. I've thought of a name and everything." "Clever boy. Well, what's the name?" she says, somehow pulling a very long feather duster from her pouch and prodding a corner of ceiling with it. "Empty Pockets." Granny stops her attempt at dusting. A wide smile beams from her face. "Wonderful! Oh, so wonderful!" DJ shrugs. "It's nothing. I like working here." I should give you something special, young man. Do you want a blank cheque?" Although DJ didn't pass his exams, he isn't stupid. Sometimes he doesn't pay attention, but this cosmic salesman lark has him all ears. Granny would own something of his if he took anything from the store. He figures he can make a nice bit of money from this place without a blank cheque. Anyway, there's been something else on his mind ever since he left the Pound Palace next door a couple of days ago. Granny Guffin, I would like to ask for something else." "Go on." "Could I ask your granddaughter on a date?" "Well, yes, I'm sure you could." No, I mean, could you make her say yes? Just to give me a chance, to, have her go out somewhere with me." The rush of blood to his cheeks is unavoidable, and so he looks at his trainers. "Oh, silly young man. I'm sure Macy is quite taken with you already. But you must know, the most powerful artifacts in the universe cannot challenge a woman's prerogative." DJ furrows his brow in confusion. "Make a fresh pot of tea and bring her a cup. You never know. You might be in luck." And so ends Empty Pockets. Come tell us what you thought of the story in the forums at castofwonders.org/forums. James has 3 stories, non-YA, placed in 3 different anthologies that should be out before the year's end. Anabiosis will appear in The Big Bad, an Anthology of Evil, edited by John G. Hartness and Emily Leverett. The Edge Between will appear in Soul Reflections from Wicked East Press, 2012. And Waste Not, Want Not will appear in Tales for the Toilet from Crowded Quarantine Publications, 2012. Cast of Wonders is a production of Wolfsbane Publishing. The editor is Barry J. Northern. The audio producer and host is Graham Dunlop. It's released under a Creative Commons Attribution, Non-Commercial, No Derivatives license. Share it, but don't change or sell it. Theme is Appeal to Heavens by Alexei Nov from musicalley.com.